Welcome back to Pace Immigration, talking once again with Pace Immigration lawyer Andy Semichek. Andy, good to see you. We haven't chatted in a while.
Good to see you. Yes.
And there's been some changes,
Yes,
a lot of
there
changes
have.
in
Yeah.
immigration lately. Let's today's video, let's talk about the changes to the DUI, or in Canada, DWI, driving while intoxicated offenses.
Right.
Going back and forth from the U.S.-Canada border. What's going on?
Okay, well, with respect to Canada first, if
Okay.
you're coming up to Canada and you have a DUI, there's good news for those fellows who do hunting and fishing,
Okay.
because Canadian tourism has stepped in and said, look, for these boys who want to come up, let's go, up into Northern Ontario or whatever, and if they have one DUI, it's possible for them to get permission to come into Canada even with one DUI on their record. Not more than one, but one is okay. And they can get a temporary resident permit at the border in those circumstances. It's not generally for everybody. It's just for these travelers, tourists who are just coming up for a week or whatever.
Do you have to apply for that ahead of time, or can you do it just drive on up?
No, drive right on up, and right at the border they can get entry. Otherwise, just generally, there's a problem with DUIs. You cannot come to Canada with a DUI on your record. You have to get a temporary resident permit. And the problem with that is it takes time to get it. It takes about, 6-8 months to get it through a consulate that you apply to.
Okay.
And that's the deal on the Canadian side.
And the change with that is it used to be no matter what, if you had a DUI, it was turn around.
Correct. I had cases where a guy was flying into a wedding and he was the best man at a wedding. He had a DUI and he came in at the airport late at night, like 11:30 at night.
Right.
And the guy said, no, the wedding's tomorrow, like Saturday. He's in on Friday night. And the guy said, no, you're not staying here. First flight out in the morning on Saturday morning.
You're gone.
Back out,
Wow.
out of the country.
And it doesn't matter how old the conviction is, or does it?
No.
So
no,
if you drink and drive at 18, get caught, and then you try and enter Canada at the age of 40, you can still be turned around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Okay. Let's do Canada going to the United States has a DWI on their record.
Okay. In that case, it's a little less severe. The U.S. allows you to enter even if you have one DUI on your record without anything further.
Okay.
There's a thing called the petty offense exception to inadmissibility that covers this area. However, if you have more than one DUI, then you do need a waiver, and that's a process that takes, again, about 6 to 8 months in the United States. And it's, it's paperwork. You got to get the court record and a police report and all this kind of stuff, as you do when you have to get it for Canada. It's the same kind of a process.
No, they do. The states, we were scrolling through and looking at some stuff. They have things like the Centers for Disease Control wants a medical and stuff like this.
Okay,
How does that work?
Okay, that's if you're applying to immigrate to the United States permanently. In that case, if you've had a DUI within the last 3 years, you're going to have to go through a physician's office, one of these guys who's going to examine your, like your blood and determine whether you have some addiction before you're allowed to enter the United States as a immigrant. So, for example, if you married someone, you're trying to immigrate to the United States and you've had a DUI, you think you can go in without a problem. Well, you actually do have a problem at the consulate. You're going to have to go through this medical review, this screen, to determine whether you have some dependency on alcohol.
They really take it seriously, on both sides,
Yeah.
as they should. I mean, it is drinking and driving.
That's true.
It's one more reason. In fact, now that I've been talking to you about this stuff for a couple of years, it's one more reason for people not to drink and drive. Let alone that you could kill somebody, but also you get caught, you might never be seeing the United States again in your life.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Andy, and we'll talk to you about some more stuff next time. Everyone, paceimmigration.com, and you can reach him at asemichuk@pacelawfirm.com. Bye for now.